Into the currency space, where the Indian rupee declined for a second straight day today as domestic markets declined, and the euro slipped to a fresh two-year lows against the dollar, breaking that 1.22 mark on the lower side as well. There are intensifying worries over global economy. It has been taking a toll on the rupee in the recent few weeks as well. That's the euro on your screens, nearly 0.5% on the lower side, and the rupee also has closed nearly 0.5% down, very near to that 56 mark into the markets today. Let's get in also Hemal Doshi. He is Chief Currency Strategist at Geojit Comtrade, and he joins us in our studios here. Hemal, hi, welcome to the show. How have you read into the rupee weakness that we have seen in the last 2 days, and what's your sense? How have you ranged the rupee for the rest of this week?
For the coming week or for the day tomorrow, we've seen good support on the spot around 55.25 to 55.5 levels, and we saw a movement right up from 56.07 to 55.25, but there is good amount of bids coming from oil companies or good amount of buying from the importer side, from where we see a fierce bounce back again as we saw today. So my sense is 50.25, 55.5 will hold, and eventually will break above 56.10, 56.15 levels and headed towards 56.5, 75 in next few trading sessions.
Vijay, what's your sense? Hemal clearly is slightly bearish on the Indian rupee. Do you think rupee could be going down as soon as tomorrow?
Yes, I think so. And yesterday I talked about the 55 level being a support for the USD. I think anytime the USD goes down to 55, 55 and a quarter, it will get bought into. And in the July futures, if the INR falls below the 56.60 levels, I think the run-up can be very sharp in the USD INR, because bear covering would then accelerate the rally in the USD and therefore a decline in the INR. I think the rupee is exhibiting clear signs of weakness, and I have a feeling the rupee is likely to take out the previous lows.
Reaching 56 tomorrow is what our experts are expecting. But Hemal, what's your sense in the euro? Because rupee seems to be taking quite a bit of cues from that currency as well, and the kind of decline that we have seen in euro come in the recent few days really seems to be putting pressure.
Yeah, euro is almost close to 2 weeks low, and what we've seen, there is a good break below 1.2200, and the dollar index eventually has broken a very crucial resistance of 83.5. So if the dollar index closes above 83.5 today, we can expect a decent amount of bounce back in dollar index, which will be again bearish for euro. So probably euro is on a downfall, and you can say in the near term we can possibly see close to 1.20, 2050 kind of levels can be seen.
1.20 in sense of euro. But Hemal, you also mentioned about the dollar index. So what kind of a gain since 83.5 has breached? Where do you see that one heading?
Dollar index, if 83.5 holds on the downside, we can expect a bounce back up till 85 or 85.25 levels.
How is it looking on your charts, Vijay? I mean, are we looking at 1.20 as well breaching? Because euro has been continuously declining. This is the first time in all of that eurozone concerns that we finally have seen euro take an impact.
You're right, Manisha, and I've been talking about 1.21 as a threshold at which I would start re-looking at the euro trade. Now, should the euro go to the 1.2050 levels, I think you could even see 1.1975 or 1950 fairly quickly. And once this threshold is breached, I think the euro can remain weak for a period of time, because chartically speaking, it's been trying to hold its own, and what we are seeing today is rather unsuccessfully. So this weakness in the euro does not really augur well for the rupee, and the rupee could actually start getting volatile with a downward bias in tandem with the euro.
Hemal, coming to a slightly medium term, for today of course, or for tomorrow, for this week, there is bearishness in the euro and the rupee as well, but slightly longer term, do you think this bearishness or this bearish pattern actually could continue?
See, it will be very difficult for dollar rupee spot to break above 57.32.5 kind of levels. You need good breakdown in the overseas dollar movement. Dollar should actually strengthen in a big way for USD INR spot to break 57.32.5. In medium term, I don't think so that level will be broken, and possibly we could stay in a range of, let's say, 55 on the downside up to 57 on the upside.
Is that your range for this whole quarter, or would you say that there are chances that it could take off?
No, I think more or less it will stay in this kind of a range only, maybe 25-30 paisa here and there, a slight variation. Otherwise, I think this range should hold ideally.
Vijay, what's your sense for many of those exporters, importers, SMEs who do look at a quarterly basis? Where do you think the rupee range could be working in for them? Because yet again, after the rupee starts sliding, you start talking about those levels like 60 and beyond.
Manisha, for 60 to come, there has to be adverse triggers in the market. For example, if you see the talk about the food security bill gaining traction all over again, it can really spook the forex markets fairly significantly. Or if you see some negative flashpoints emerging, then again the currency markets can get completely spooked. But for the coming quarter, I think the rupee is unlikely to appreciate over 54 levels or 54 quarter levels. And should it start to decline and trade consistently below the 56.65 or 56.70 levels, I think taking out the 57.30 or 57.35 levels will be fairly easy in the coming 3 months.
A final quick word from you, Hemal, and how have you studied the volumes in the currency futures here? Do you think the high volatile move that we have seen, that has increased the volumes in the recent few months?
No, volumes are close to their average only. See, we've seen the average volume in only the currency futures side up to close to $4.5 to $5 billion daily. So volumes have been fairly consistent. Even a lackluster day when there is just 10-20 paisa movement, the volumes dip. Otherwise, on a fairly volatile day, we see volumes close to $5 billion happening on a daily basis. If that's only on the future side, plus options, you can add up another close to $1 billion.
About $6 billion of a move coming in, or the money moving in daily in case of the currency futures there. Hemal and Vijay, thank you so much for joining us today with your sense on where the currencies could be headed. More weakness for the Indian rupee, see a breach of 56 as quite a possible move coming into the markets tomorrow before the week ends.